how difficult it was for you to express your need. But do you feel like being demanding and you're not demanding?
No. If I become too demanding, they may not like it.
Exactly.
I think that's how, again, the wiring has always happened.
You know, couple relationship is like a salsa. One person takes a step, the other one exactly takes the other step.
That's where the pleaser in me had come out quite well.
Right.
Where I would want to be there to do everything for him so that he feels that, he can trust me, he can confide in me.
You're imprinted like that.
Yeah.
Because people praised you, kya to nathi radti, that is good, to bodai.
She's a happy child.
She's a happy child. Now you have to stick to that happy child and
Exactly.
good kid label that was stuck on you.
Yeah.
Now in process of doing that, even if you felt teary, you would run in the bathroom, you would shed a little bit of tear, you would wipe it quickly, put the makeup on, and then everything is nice.
Yeah.
Are you curious or are you anxious?
Okay. I'm anxious, I think.
Alright guys, so I see a lot of different species, and I call them species in my session because we all come from some sort of special traits. Psychologically, Milan and Kay, who actually came up with How We Love Therapy, which is very attachment based, they have classified humans in 6 different psychological traits: the pleaser, the avoider, the victim, the controller, the vacillator, and the secure connector. But the real question is, which one is good and which one is best? Well, they all have their pros and cons. And interestingly, I met with somebody who was a pleaser. So a classic thing about me being a psychologist, when I walk in the room, I don't want to diagnose them, but somehow my brain just starts classifying them into one of these buckets. And when I met this beautiful person, she's pregnant and she is ready to give birth to a beautiful soul, I figured that she probably is a people pleaser. And I asked her if she wants to take a test to check if she is a pleaser, which she accepted it, and she also agreed to talk about how her people pleasing has helped her or not helped her in her marriage, in her real life, and as a person. So I have Heta here, and she took a test before coming to the episode, and she was a pleaser, or she is a pleaser, which is what I had guessed. All right, Heta, so thank you for coming to our episode, and would you like to say something about yourself to our viewers?
Sure. Thank you, Pinkal, for having me here.
Yes.
And yes, so I'm basically a soft skill trainer and developing myself as a coach. So that's what interested me into your podcast or your content.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Okay. So let's just dive into the 6 beautiful love style that have been identified by Milan and Kay. It is based on the attachment theory, and we call them like how we love. And it's not like exactly about loving your spouse or love, but it's more about this imprints that we develop as an adult growing up, right? So a lot of time we say that my hair looks like my mom, or my nose is like my dad. So we only identify that part, like we get our DNAs from our parents, right? But the way how we behave, why are you a pleaser? Why is somebody an avoider? Why is somebody a victim? Why is somebody a controller? Or why is somebody a vacillator? Or why is somebody a secure connector? It is very much from the environment that they have been raised into it, the behavior that they learned from their parents. When they saw their parents resolve the conflict, when they saw how the parents attended to your needs. So what happened is, slowly in that contextual factor, you started developing a trait. And in your case, you developed a pleaser trait. And let me give you a little bit of brief about what each traits are, okay? So the pleasers are the one who would do anything to make people around them happy. Do you get that? Yeah. So it's just that for them, pleasing others is some kind of adrenaline that they get. The avoiders are, you know what, I just don't want to deal with it right now. And they always avoid. They are the ones who will speak the least, unlike the pleasers who will speak the most, right? Then we have the victims. So the victims are the one who really think कि मेरे साथ life में गलती होता है. So they always, you know, they know that there is wrong stuff happening with them, but they are so happy or they're so content sitting on that uncomfortable chair and blaming the whole world around them that this is uncomfortable. This one did this to me, like mera to naseeb hi kharab hai, like this is always going to happen, I can't get out. So they really don't do anything to get out of that thing. Then we have controllers. So controllers are the one who operates from a mindset that they have to control every given situation, every person that they are around. And for them, what happens is if they're not in control of, that kicks in their anxiety. So they are controlling because they want to feel safe. So it is their coping mechanism. Well, all of these are your coping mechanism. You please because I'll let you know why, and why people avoid and all of that, right? And then there are vacillators. So vacillators are people who are sometimes a pleaser, sometimes a victim, sometimes a controller, sometimes what do you call, avoiders. And why are they the way they are is also because of their upbringing. But it's very difficult for people to be around them. You know, sometimes you might have been around few people who actually you feel like koi wakat to ano mood aawo hoy, and sometimes like she's so good, and sometimes he's very giving, and sometimes he just feels like that. So it's like people around them always feel like they're walking on the eggshell. Like you don't know how to deal with them. You have to check the temperature all the time. And the secure connectors are the one who actually can manage the conflicts well. They understand, like for example, they will understand you are a pleaser and they will give you the room to please, or they will give you the room to avoid, or they will give you your space to do. Now none of these love styles are good or bad. They all have the pros and cons. Like if you, I'm sure your mother-in-law is happy with you because you keep everyone happy. Yeah, right? Don't you think that is like the classic desired bahu in Indian diaspora? Like I need somebody who doesn't stand for themselves and just make everyone happy. Do you get that a lot? Like Mari bahu wo sari chahiye. Yeah. But and I think that's what people would always wish. But what is going within you?
Okay. I think when you mention these styles, when you mention the pleaser definition about pleaser,
right?
I could relate to it. I have been, you know, the elder child in my home with my parents. So with them, it was always, you know, that the feeling of being responsible, the feeling of they can trust me with anything, whether it's my sister who will look up to me. Right. You know, she'll be going to me for certain things which she would not want to do. So I would take that responsibility for her, or proving myself sometimes. So that is something which I think is where this pleaser attitude is coming, and you know up, what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's right. But you know what? Also, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you belong to, growing up, were your parents overly protective about you?
I wouldn't say that.
Were they angry, authoritative?
No.
Were they worried about your future? Was there a fear?
Yes.
Okay. So for one of these reasons, an individual, a kid growing up turns out to be a pleaser. Because what is happening in their mindset is they're trying to compensate their parents' fear by trying to make it look that everything is okay. So then they put up this mask, which is a people pleaser mask, which is what we call in a modern term. But this mask is not fake. It is very much functional. It is functional because what you want to do is you really want to take care of that side of your parents, which you feel is not safe?
Maybe.
Does something come up for you?
Yeah, so I was just thinking that, when I look up to my mom, she's been very caring about her mom or her dad.
Right.
And that's where the thoughts were coming up when you mentioned that, when I see them doing things is what I have learned that
Yeah.
Badane khush rakho, or maybe she would be doing this way for my father, for us, or for her parents. So I think that is
a safety net.
Yeah. That is the behavior that I would have
learned.
picked up.
Yeah. Right. See, one thing is for sure, pleasers do this because they have this drive for being liked.
Yeah.
But in lieu of getting liked, they are never seen. Do you feel that you're not seen?
Yes. So I've come across, I think we had a chat when you gave me this test that there's certain part of me which realized it. So I think my entire schooling, where I was all under protection and everything, went into this phase of being liked, being pleased. Even if somebody would tell me something, I'll just follow their things and all.
Right.
Then when I stepped out into the real world, when I left the city and went for my undergraduate or my job, that's where I became that person that I'll have to put a little boundary around me. I cannot always be there available for everyone.
Right.
I think that's where now trying to change, being self-aware, but of course the traits still
continue.
Yeah.
So we talk a lot about pleaser traits, and I know you took the test, but our viewers and listeners have not. So I'm going to run down those.
Sure.
Of course, it was an 8-page of test, so we're not going to do all of it. But I'm going to, spell out some 8 to 9 traits which really exactly identifies pleaser as a pleaser. So you can go along with me. So we can all, because I know you took the test at home.
Yeah, sure.
So answer on behalf of our viewers. All right. So basically, pleasers grow up in a home which are overly protective or angry, or they have a critical parents, or maybe the parents are constantly in the fear of raising them well. They themselves feel pressured. And because of that, what happened is, rather than them using the energy of comforting and caretaking their kids, the kids take that role to comfort their parents and take care of their parents, right? So I'm going to read out 5 statements. Let me know if that applies to you. The first one: for most of my childhood, I could have been described as a good kid.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This one is for viewers too. I think you might want to take a note on this. For most of your childhood, you could have been described as a good kid. Second one: I feel very upset if someone is upset or annoyed with me, and I am good at keeping peace.
Yes.
Okay, good. I seek connection and avoid rejection by anticipating and meeting others' needs. You feel connection by meeting others' needs. So when you meet others' needs, you feel connected with them.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is something that pleasers do. Pleasers think that if I am providing,
correct,
if I'm nurturing, if I'm meeting somebody's emotional need, that's when they will start connecting with me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Conflicts make me uneasy, and I prefer to deal with disagreement by giving in or making up for it and quickly moving on.
So can avoiding also be considered that I would avoid the conflict?
You probably have evolved
Okay.
that. But imagine growing up, if you were in this conflicting environment, would you have been okay with it? Like, does conflict, nobody's okay with conflict, but what I'm trying to say is, would you want to move to a level where you want to resolve the conflict by submitting okay, chalo, tu keh chhe na? Okay, let's just do it.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
Right? So you give in.
Yeah.
You're not the person who will sit stern and fight, or, you would just, even if you don't agree to something, you will be like, okay. Chodi do. Like, what are you going to get? I know, right? What kind of person I am. Why will I get into it? Like, I don't have to explain anybody that. and the other person feels that you agreed.
Correct.
Because you put that pleasing mask.
Yeah.
Evo hoy, okay, all right. But you know what? I thought it was like this. So the other person will, if they strongly tell you, no, it's not like this. It is something like this. Oh, okay. But in your mind, you're still confused. No, I really know that. But at that point, you're not in the position to make an argument.
Yeah.
You don't want to, because you know that it will get into a conflict. So I would rather, hey, what was it?
Yeah, just give it.
Just give it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then a crisp line to that is like, conflict makes me uneasy, and I would rather prefer to deal with disagreement rather than, arguing. I would rather give in rather than fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. I have difficulty confronting or saying no. And sometimes it makes me less than truthful.
Yes, but I've evolved. I think this one I have definitely evolved.
Learn to say no.
Yeah.
Learn to set
it was
the
a very
boundary.
hard thing for me to do it, but yes,
Okay.
I've done that.
All right. So viewers, if you think that you have checked mark all of these traits, then you are a pleaser, and this episode is for you, because we are going to break a lot of things here and unravel a lot of pleaser stuff here. So Heta, you know what? Your conversation just reminds me of this, I don't know if you know Carl Jung, existential therapist, right? He came up with all of that good stuff. So Carl Jung actually did not address people pleasers as people pleasers. He actually addressed them as betrayal of self.
Yeah.
Right? Have you betrayed yourself?
Yes, I think that's where the last part of the conversation that we mentioned, that's where the need of evolving, that's where the need of creating or setting a boundary came for me. Because with some of my important relationships, I faced this.
You faced it.
Yeah.
Growing up, Heta, were you ever rejected for expressing your needs, or when you try to share something with your friends or someone?
No.
Okay. So Heta, when you actually betrayed yourself, so in lieu of betraying yourself, did you lose your authenticity?
Yeah. Very nice reflection, but yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Isn't it? I feel like something is coming for you.
Yeah, so I just had some flashbacks that from the schooling part where I was, I was always being good with my friends, with my family. Even my parents' friends would come around, they would tell that the younger one, the younger sibling, she's always been very cranky and all, but you are the very, very always smiling, always positive.
Right. The good kid.
So yeah, the good kid. So that definition, I think, has been attached with me since childhood. Then when I stepped into the real world, when I stepped out for my college, when I left my hometown, that's where I realized that, this is something where I always am giving in. I need to stop doing that because people don't reciprocate the same for me.
Yeah. Do you know why people don't reciprocate the same for you?
I think lately I've just realized that they don't have any other intention, but it's just that they are okay about saying no to me.
Because you are okay.
Maybe.
About not caring for your needs.
Yeah.
So if you don't care for your needs, how do you expect others to?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in lieu of actually meeting others' needs, somewhere down the line, you have forgotten about your own needs.
Yeah.
So it's like, what you've done, imagine like you've taken this head off you and you have put it on somebody else's head. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
That's your need. You've taken it off and you've put it on somebody else's head.
Yeah.
So when you do this, you are actually addressing that your needs don't matter. So when you are telling them that your needs don't matter, they are going to pick your energy. And then they are going to think, well, your needs don't matter, then why would it matter to me?
Yeah.
Right? So think about that in terms of your close relationship. Do you feel that people around you really don't care about your needs, or they don't understand what you need?
Yes, to an extent, because when you mention the important relationships, if
Right.
I look around it, it does happen to me sometimes, and then I have to tell them that, I always take care of your needs. Which sometimes, you can also look at me and just think that I'll need this. Why do I always have to express myself?
Right.
Or do that?
You know why that happens? Because do you ask for people what they need, or you just go ahead and help them?
I go ahead and help them. So initially, yes, I would understand it. So
you'll understand the subject matter, the problem.
Then I do
and
it.
you help.
Yeah.
Without them asking for it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
This is what you are exactly expecting others to do for you.
Correct.
But not everyone is a pleaser. There are some avoiders. Yeah. There are some vacillators. There are some secure connectors. There are some victims and controllers. They are brought up in a different environment.
Correct.
Avoiders were never, ever, ever asked on that, how are you doing? So they don't know to give. So if you're in this, the pleaser-avoider marriage is beautiful. It's like the textbook relationship problem marriage.
Okay.
Why? Because the pleaser is always giving. The pleaser always want to meet the needs. They will always go out and they will be like, okay, you want this? Even before it is asked, they're overarching.
Yeah.
They give in. And then what the pleaser does is, they sit and they expect that the avoider would do it in return. Because they're doing without being asked for.
Yeah.
So now they're sitting and they're waiting, but they never get. And then what they try to do actually is, they start overdoing it because they feel in their mind that I'm not there yet. I think they need a little bit more.
Correct.
I think they need a little bit more. So they keep overdoing it. The more they overdo, they overwhelm the avoider.
Right.
So what the avoider feels like, this is too much, like this is intimidating, like stay away from me. So what they do is, they start detaching. When they detach, the pleaser feel rejected. कि इतना मैंने किया. I've been just going above and beyond. I'm not caring for my own needs. I'm not telling you anything. They're building this resentment under and under, and they're not even showing that they feel resentment. On top of that, even giving more. And you're still running away from me? Like, why don't you get it? Because they're not wired in that way. They feel like you are actually going into their territory and attacking them and pulling them out from their avoider thing. And why have they been avoiding? Why are they avoiding? Because that is their coping mechanism. But what you're doing is, you're breaching that boundary. So you have set your boundary, but you are not respecting their boundary. And you are overstepping their boundary. You're going in their territory. So they are like pushing you out, go away. When they push you out, you feel rejected. When you feel rejected, avoider is a classic avoider. They're not going to come back. They will wait for you. What you feel at that point is, now I'm losing this. So then you gear up again. Ek din bura laga, all that, you gear up again. You know what? I'll just go and apologize. Okay, sorry. Like, I was... But it's just that. And then they feel like guilty. They go in this whole process of guilt. But it's avoider. So they will process it themselves. They will never let you know that they are feeling guilty. Like when you go back and apologize, what avoiders feel is like this guilt comes into them. And when this guilt comes into them, they don't like themselves for that. So what you're actually doing is, to the avoider, you're making them hate themselves even more.
Right.
And that's the distance. And that's the salsa. Couple relationship is like a salsa. One person takes the step, like Justin. The pleaser overextended, the help, avoider detached, pleaser felt rejected, avoider distant more. Now the pleaser feel distant, so now they want to overcompensate and say sorry, come back to them. The avoider feels like, this is my territory attacked, I'm going to just run away. So this salsa that the couples play it's very beautiful. Topic is different, but they know how to play this salsa. One person takes the step, the other one exactly takes the other step. And then this person will take that step. And then the other one will take this step. So if you want to really break the cycle, one person have to take a different step.
Correct.
And now since you are here, what I would say is, for you as a pleaser, the step that you can take differently is become whole. And when I'm saying become whole, become authentic. You can be vulnerable. You can make mistakes. You can say that I don't want to take care of you.
Yeah.
You can say that I am tired. You don't have to say yes. You can look like you are sad. You can reject somebody.
Yeah. Confidently.
Confidently.
Yeah.
When that will happen, what the avoider or what the other people around you will feel that you are the authentic you. And when you become the authentic you, that's when they start relating with you. Otherwise, you're setting a high benchmark for them. And the more they want to meet that, they cannot because of their core pattern. They just cannot. And what you're doing is you're pushing them even more in guilt. And when they're in this guilt, they build this self-doubt, self-judgment. Their self-esteem is hurt. Now you don't know that you're doing all these things to them. But this is what you're actually doing it to them. And over here, you just are trying to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
But what you're not doing is you are not being happy. And because you are not happy, people around you don't get that.
Yeah.
So you're losing your authentic self. So be authentic you. So imagine pleaser avoider relationship is playing a tug of war. What is playing tug of war? Like
you pull with your force from and try
both
to
ends.
win from your
Maja
end.
to jaave na.
Yeah.
When you pull from here and this.
Yeah.
Imagine there is a pleaser here and an avoider here. What happens? Pleaser is like,
go give in by themselves.
and then avoider is like, what the hell? Do you think I'm incompetent?
Yeah.
Like, pull, man. I want to pull. I want to show my masculinity, or I want to show how strong I am.
Yeah.
You're not doing that. You're not giving me the reason to be a part of this game. So when pleaser just kind of gives in, it's just exactly like that. You are downplaying the abilities of avoiders. And that makes the person feels like, you know what? I don't think you understand me.
Yeah.
Is anything coming up for you?
You from all the things that you just shared, there's this lovely thing that you mentioned, that there's this salsa thing that goes on between the couple. And that's where I recalled an incident that initially, because mine is an arranged marriage.
Right.
So initially, I'm still trying to know my husband. He's still trying to fit in with me.
Right.
So that's where the pleaser in me had come out quite well to what I am today. But initially there was this friction where I would want to be there to do everything for him so that he feels that, he can trust me, he can confide in me.
But tell me this, Heta, were you authentic you then?
Little bit. I wouldn't
You were
say
trying
completely.
to fit in.
Yeah.
You were trying to purposely make
Absolutely.
that feel good.
Yes, I was. Initially, I definitely was.
So imagine if there was somebody who, for example, me here, sitting with you, if I try to make it look good, if you sense that I am not authentic, how would you react?
I wouldn't, like it, and the
You will
trust
pull away?
will not come so naturally to me.
Did you experience that bit? When you were trying to fit in and make your marriage good?
Maybe there were some issues, because what I would expect, I would literally put it out there.
Yes.
And then would not give my husband that space.
Right.
For him to actually, like how we mentioned, for the avoider point of view, he would still feel that, I need my time. He needs his time.
Absolutely.
To be with me on the same page. Now, of course, his life has also changed. So
Right.
I would want everything to be together. And I think I have a very beautiful thing that comes to my mind right now, that usually after marriages, girls, they shift with their in-laws.
Right.
So the only thing that they would want to be around is their husband. And for him, it was too much of pressure from my end, because I had completely changed the city.
Right.
And all my friends, everything was changed. So for me, he was like my go-to person for everything.
Right.
So I don't know if you can help me explain how this
think
avoidance
it's
of
because
pleaser thing comes in.
That is a very common problem, or I would say a situation which every Indian girl feels when they get married, right? They're trying to fit in the new home. And my advice to all of those listeners out here, or all of those girls who are trying to, fit in, I would say just don't try to fit in, just be you.
Yeah.
You're beautiful the way you are. The moment you try to fit in, you are shutting down something which is very important piece of your life.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to do that for a long time.
Correct.
Especially, let's say, if we are just focusing on pleaser right now. So I'm just going to talk about that. As I said earlier, your persona is covered by a mask. And when you cover your persona by a mask, the people really don't recognize you. And how long are you going to wear that mask? Right?
Yeah.
So if one fine day you drop that mask, and you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it is very overwhelming to put on that mask. It's very tiring, and I know that.
Yeah.
Either you will go in self-guilt and live like, but I usually say that resentment, if you live with resentment, you are absolutely a pleaser. Out of these all 6 traits, one thing that stands out for pleaser is dwelling with resentment. They have a lot of resentment because they harbor so much within them, they don't spell it out. And I think that is the very reason why you felt that, thing in your marriage, and what other people will also feel, because they're putting on that mask. So what I would say, Heta, to answer your question, circling back, just be authentic you. There will be turbulence. Don't shy away from turbulence. There will be turbulence because you're being yourself. But what your partner will learn is to deal with those real turbulences, not with the fake ones.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I think that's how the relationship evolves. And
exactly.
And I've loved how I have evolved with my husband throughout these years.
When you say you've evolved, Heta, would you say that you've started becoming a little bit more authentic you?
Absolutely. Both of us. So even he understood from where I was coming up. He opened up. I opened up. I told him that, this is what I feel and this is my need. So, when I started expressing my need, I think that's where he also twisted his needs to match my needs.
How difficult it was for you to express your need? And how long did it take for you actually?
It did take me a good long time. But when I understood that with anybody, not just over here when I'm talking about my husband, but with any relationship, I think once I've started having that comfort with each other, with my sibling, with my mom, anywhere, I would then open up very gradually. But again, the important part is the tone. I would not, be like very demanding or anything. I would just be very expressive there that this is.
But do you feel like being demanding and you're not demanding?
No. Okay. Because I think that's how, again, the wiring has always happened. And if I become too demanding, they may not like it.
Exactly.
So that's how I pick up.
Because again, tying it down back to that, growing up, if you always had to smile even when you wanted to cry. So your wiring was done that way. It is like an imprint. You're imprinted like that because people praised you. Kya to nathi radti, that is good. Ato budai.
She's a happy child.
She's a happy child. Now you have to stick to that happy child and good kid label that was stuck on you. Now in process of doing that, even if you felt teary, you would run in the bathroom, you would shed a little bit of tear, you would wipe it quickly, put the makeup on, and then everything is nice.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's very natural. Like I don't even have to second think on this.
But then that has this crying in the bathroom. You know how that crying in the bathroom is your anxiety.
Yeah.
And why people pleasers become pleasers is because they're coping with their anxiety. And that's where the anxiety kicks in.
So, Pinkal, having this lovely conversation with you, realizing so many beautiful things about relationships with my important ones. Like you mentioned in the start, I am starting the most beautiful or the most important chapter of my life.
Your life. Oh my God, I'm
which
so
of course has
for
different jitters coming along.
Absolutely.
So I was just very curious that, with this pleasing behavior, with the traits that I have just known about myself,
Right.
how do I, not change, but how do I cope up with the new parenthood
Right.
responsibility which is going to come to me? Because,
Right.
of course, I think that's where I don't want to be a pleaser to
I
my
think the
child.
answer lies within your question, Heta. Are you curious or are you anxious?
I'm anxious, I think.
So you know what? That's exactly, if you reflect back,
Yeah.
why did you become a pleaser?
Okay.
Because your parents were anxious.
Right. Right.
So if you are an anxious parent,
Yeah.
you will make your kid a pleaser. Because now your kid will take the responsibility to handle your anxiety.
Yeah.
So now what will happen is they will become exactly like you, and you know who you were when you were handling that. So they would not want to cry because that will make mommy anxious. So I will just smile and I'll go in my bathroom and I'll cry silently. So what will happen is, although you will give your kid the space to talk about it, but the more you get anxious, the more you get liberal. Let me put it that way. Because right now, since you're getting all this new awareness, you know that, okay, oversharing is not going to be good. Now I'm going to be undersharing. So now what you're doing is you're going from all or none. Just go back to the tug of war example. Earlier, you were just going there. Now what you will do is you'll pull a lot. No, find a balance. Just be you. If you feel like telling your kids something, go ahead and tell. If they want to take time, give them the time and space. You don't have to make them another Heta.
Correct.
And for them not to be another Heta, you don't have to be your parent. Not that the parents were bad. They're great. All the parents are worried and anxious. But build that healthy trust by letting them make that mistake. Let them make that mistake. Let them fall. You're there to hold. But if you're anxious about them falling, what they will do is they will not take the steps that they should take, because they're always watching back that mommy will cry if I fall. So I don't want to go to play. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, it did. I'm just digesting these things, but
take your time.
Interesting things, and I think that's where I have started, so I've also been a person who's always wanted to be ready for everything. Now I don't know, is this again
absolutely? Oh my God, because pleasers are, because they want to always be liked by everyone. Things, they are not procrastinator, because you cannot put up everything overnight. So you have to plan ahead of time.
Absolutely.
It needs to be beautiful. It needs to be liked by all. It needs to be approved by all. You need to get that validation of approval. If all these stars align, the event is successful. But then, did you care about how many sleepless nights did it take? How much were you overwhelmed? What was the cost of burnout? What did it cost your own mental health?
Correct.
How much anxiety did you build in? But the reward for pleaser is that validation. Everyone's happy, I am happy.
The work is perfect.
The work is done. The event is perfectly executed. Everyone was happy end of the day. Okay, now I can go back to sleep. But then, when it is the other person's role to do that, they are always on the edge. And that actually kicks in the resentment. कि उसके इवेंट में मैंने इतना सारा सब किया without that person asking me anything. अभी it's my event. Why can't they just do one thing right? Like, why do they have to procrastinate? Like, why don't you plan and give it to me ahead of time? Like, why is there not everything okay? Because I did everything right for you.
Correct. So I do see these few thoughts which are coming, but not completely, because then I'm also a person who would not feel very, irritated or be disappointed if everybody does not.
No, because you're fearful that how can you show the disappointment?
But it doesn't affect, like, I don't get irritated or, so I can sleep peacefully at night, even if, for example, if I have done so much for my...
Because your drive is what?
Happy.
People are happy.
Yeah.
They're happy. It doesn't happen after one event. Is everything hunky-dory between you and your husband? Of course. But is there sometimes you feel that I need something. Why can't he give me without me asking for
Yeah,
it?
that is it. That is it.
And that doesn't kick in overnight. That happens after several episodes.
Correct. Correct. 5 times के बाद then I start feeling this कि यार 5 बार तो I've done this thing. Now 6th time तो you should understand no that this will come naturally to him. That's
Yeah.
the expectation.
Natural expect. And you feel like इतना क्या मैंने मांग लिया है?
Yeah.
Like I'm just, but he doesn't get it because you never expressed what you need.
Yeah.
See, a lot of times couples tell me we are never on the same page. And I ask them like, do you know what page number you are?
Correct.
They sometimes don't even know what page number they are at.
Yeah.
Forget about their partner.
Correct.
So A, the self-awareness bit. You are there. You know you are a pleaser. You know your page number.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what your partner's page number is? Where he is at?
Now I think with experience I've and trust me, I think with this it's a beautiful relation. That's why I said that we have evolved.
Right.
Because if he is not a person who is into oversharing,
Right.
and now I'm a person who want to say even like 1 hour. If this podcast is done today, I'll be sharing everything with him. Going back.
Absolutely.
The tiniest of the details from what I wore, from what you have worn.
Absolutely.
He would not do it.
Yeah.
So then
Because
now
his
I've
brain
understood.
is not attuned.
Yeah. But now
He will give you
it's
one
good.
liner. Oh yeah, it was good. And what you're expecting is a paragraph. Right.
Absolutely.
So now you know your page number.
Yeah.
He knows his page number. But have you guys decided where are we going to meet? What page number?
Interesting.
Right? I'm on 19, you're on 29. Good. But where are we meeting?
Yeah.
What is our meeting point? And then people say we are never on the same
Same
page.
page. Yeah.
And that's where you need therapy. No, but on a serious note, like back in Western, like we really talk about pre-marital counseling. And the reason why we talk about pre-marital counseling is because A, to identify what page number you are, what page number your partner is, and going forward after we get married, where are we going to settle? You know, couples relationship, Heta, is very beautiful. Like Venn diagram?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is the circle and this is the circle, right?
Intersection point is
the intersection point where the Venn diagram, where that intersection happens.
Yeah.
That is marriage.
Absolutely.
Not the other space that we see. That is not marriage.
Yeah.
And that space is so important. That intersection is not, aisa nahi hai ki that intersection is important. So imagine like you are pink, your husband is blue, you intersect equally.
Yeah.
That intersection oval space is purple. That purple is your fertile zone.
Yeah.
That's where you will give birth to your baby.
Correct.
And that's where you will form a new constitution of marriage. We don't form in India, we don't form, or in our Indian culture, it is a big deal to form a constitution of marriage.
Yeah.
Every country has a constitution. I think every marriage should have a constitution. The ground rules, the do's, the don'ts, what to do with me when I feel this way. How should you come to me when I feel this way? How should I talk to you about my needs? Should I write down? Should I come openly? If you feel upset, should I ask you immediately? Like I will just share this and I don't know if you want to show it on the screen or not, but just for the sake of. So this was with a friend of mine and we went on a cruise, 8 of us on a cruise. Everything was hunky-dory, nice and good. 2 days into it, she was so upset. And here I'm thinking, she's upset and I called her like bunch of times and she just walked past and she did not give me that thing. And I'm actually self-doubting, did I do anything wrong? And I just took a step back. I did not, like I got those looks. I did not even get the looks. She just walked past when I asked the question. And I got a signal that there is something wrong. And immediately my brain went to thinking that I did something wrong. The self-blame. Okay? 2 days before I was having a conversation with her and I brought this. All went on a vacation with friends and all of a sudden you behave like this. We were so uncomfortable around you and we felt like, what happened all of a sudden? And that's not pleasing. Like you shouldn't do that. Like why would you do that? And she's like, so you noticed that I was upset. I'm like, yeah, I did. What did you do about it? She asked me that. What did you do about it? I took a step back. And I'm like, well, I did not do anything about it. But I didn't know if I should do something.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's when the real conversation happened between us. So that's when I asked her. The constitution of relationship was formed that day.
Correct.
So I'm like, okay, when you feel this way, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to give you space? Or do you want me to come to you and ask you? Because I operated from a point where if I felt something like this, I would need a space. So I'm thinking that I'm giving her a space.
Correct.
But what exactly she's needing? Me to go to her and ask her kya problem hai. Like if you saw me upset, why didn't you come to me? And I'm like, oh my God, it's not your fault. I'm so glad you told me this. And going forward, if I see you this way, and if I don't come to you, like that's it. Like that is my fault. Today I know how you want me to deal with you. I think couples should form that constitution.
Absolutely.
What do you think about it?
I agree. And I think this is where the entire expressing yourself comes into picture. And this is exactly the same thing that has happened with me. And that's where now when my husband is, if he's upset, initially I was keep asking, don't share it with me. तू मुझे trust नहीं करता है. Why can't you share it with me? I am like your wife. So, these things happen with me. And then he wants his space. Next day, if he feels like it, he'll come and share it with me. But I needed to understand that. Then the beautiful relationship evolved in your
constitution.
The constitution.
And the other important thing, Heta, in that purple, you know the boundaries that we talk about, right? I feel that boundaries should be permeable.
Correct.
What is happening is in Indian marriages, what I see, the boundaries are so freaking rigid. They're so rigid that the couples don't have space to go to their pinks and purples pinks and blue. So what happens is they feel trapped in that. Imagine that garden that we call the constitution. Imagine you're trapped in that forever. No. We know what me time is. Right?
Yes.
The new trending concept, hashtag me time. But do people really know what me time is and why is it needed?
And acknowledging it.
Acknowledging it, yes. So one thing I really have couples, if I see my couples come, like in my couples therapy, I ask them like, show me your Venn diagram. I make them draw the Venn diagram. And they sometimes, the circles are like this, like this.
Two complete different sets.
Sometimes the circles are like this. There's no diagram at all. We both are, one is here, one is the other way. Sometimes the circle are this. Oh, we are so much enmeshed. Like we just cannot do without each other. हम लोग साथ में ही रहते हैं, साथ में ही खाते हैं, साथ में ही सब करते हैं, everything. Like whatever he likes, I like. Whatever he does, I do. Whatever she does, like we are this lovey couples, right? But फिर भी problem है. Problem तो फिर भी है, right? There's still the problem. So that is like you are overlapping so much that one of you have lost your identity.
Correct.
And so imagine like if you cannot be the same people, otherwise you would have been a clone.
No, I know. And the bubble, when it just blasts.
So one is shrinking, or one is overarching and expanding to be exactly here. So the better one is this very nicely overlapping with that beautiful purple, keeping the boundaries permeable, where each one can go in their space as and when needed for their me time, coming back to their constitution of marriage and the way you want to raise your kids. I think that will be really good conversation that you have with your husband. That, all right, you know what? Let's make the constitution of our marriage. Like, what are the do's? What are the don'ts? How will we set boundaries? You are a different person. I'm a different person. We'll raise differently.
Absolutely.
There will be conflict in raising. How will we take care of those conflicts? So, Heta, you talk a lot about boundary setting. You say that you've evolved. And I know for a pleaser how difficult it is to set boundaries, to say no, right? Talk to me about that. How did you evolve and how are you setting boundaries? Tell me 5 things that you're doing.
Okay. So one thing, like I'll pick it up from there, that how difficult it was for me to say no. So even if I'm right here, when my husband would say that, I'm tired, and then he says that aaj raat ko there's this plan, and because I'm this person who'd want to go with him hand in hand, I'll say Yes, subconsciously, but that's where I've started saying no to it. That no, I'm really tired, and you go on. It's okay if you want to go on. So that's where I'm giving that Venn diagram space. Plus, I am also saying that I will not be comfortable today to extend my day.
Right.
I think with my parents sometimes where I would just give in. Now that I am also going to become a mother, I would sometimes say that to my mom. She'll be saying that, you do this much na, itna mein to kya hota? You eat this, you do that. She'll force things.
Right.
That's where I have started to say no, that no. And that too little aggressively. Not being that this na karke nahi. Have to be a firm no in that.
Right.
Third thing evolved around people. So even if I was working with somebody and then, if I'm doing a job and my manager or somebody would say that today this is expected from you and the shift is done. So I have my own session. I will not be giving in. I will say no. The best part to this boundaries for me evolving is that I don't feel or I don't have that afterthought to it now that I used to have. Very consciously I'm saying
that guilt and resentment wala piece
exactly,
is gone.
That ye kya sochega? What will my mom think? Or I disappointed him or her.
Yeah.
That disappointment thing is now very low. It is still, I can feel it that, okay, for a minute I still have that, I hope she is not upset with me or I hope my husband is okay with my no.
Right.
But I'll sleep on it.
But is that also boosting your self-confidence and self-esteem?
It is. Like I'm putting myself out and I'm happily doing it.
Very nice. Very well said.
Is very important.
So what happens in the pleaser's mind? What operates in pleaser's mind? When I'm talking to you, let's say you're talking to me, and if I was a pleaser, what I will think is what you are thinking of me.
Yeah.
And constantly you are thinking that what I am you are thinking of me versus me thinking what I am thinking of you.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? So a pleaser's mind is always thinking outwards versus thinking inwards.
Yeah.
And what this outward thinking is, and when I said like, they take their head out and put that head on somebody else's head and they start thinking what they are thinking of me versus them analyzing a situation and thinking what I should think of them.
Yeah.
So they don't think inward, they think outward.
Yeah.
And going back to the boundaries part, great evaluation, okay? Let me tell you that. But there is one thing that what I'm hearing as you're saying, boundaries is learning to say no. I think I'll just add on that. It is it's like one piece of the pie. It's not all of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where boundaries are absolutely misunderstood in Indian diaspora.
Yes.
They think that saying no is drawing boundaries. How I see boundaries is, it's like giving each other a template. For example, I write my template. What to do with me when I feel sad. What not to do with me when I feel sad. What I want when I feel this way. What I don't want when I feel this way. What to do with me, what not to do with me, my likes, my dislikes, people that I'm close to, people that I'm not close to, which situation to pull me on, which situation to not pull me on. I create that template for myself. And I have my partner or the relationship that I am in create that template for themselves. And then we exchange that template.
Yeah.
So that I know what exactly to do with you when you feel that way. And you know what exactly to do with me when I feel that way.
Yeah.
It's not about learning to say no. It's about changing the way we can behave with that other person. Because that's what they would want us to do.
Yeah.
Right? So there is no point in saying no. Because we're actually giving them what they need.
Yeah.
Right? So the whole idea is like what I think is setting boundary is people feel guilty, selfish. People think that if I say no, my relationships will break.
Yeah.
Like they will feel that I'm selfish. But you know what? You draw boundaries or you do this template, you make this template just because you want to have a healthy relationship with the other person. Because let's say if you're not able to draw that boundary, you will hold resentment and guilt.
Absolutely.
And that will bring a wedge in the relationship for sure, 100%. That is the reason why conflicts will happen. So if you don't want a conflict, write the template of your do's, don'ts, likes, dislikes, what to do with you, what not to do with you. Let them write it, exchange it, go over it, and then when they are in a certain situation, you really want to give that to them.
Respecting the perception is very important.
Respecting how they are brought up, because they cannot change and the way they are.
That has happened to me, like you mentioned. So when I said no, that I'll not be coming, it's okay that you can go. Otherwise, in India, what I have seen is that for me, it was difficult initially.
It is a big deal.
I said no. It is a big deal. I said no. Then why are you also going? You should also sit with me and be there. This is something which I've seen it around.
मैं नहीं जा रही तो तुझे ऐसा नहीं होता तुझे भी.
This I've seen it, and I always used to feel that ऐसा क्यों? What's the big deal? If you want to go, I don't want to go.
But it's the other way. What's the big deal? What's the big deal if he goes and you want to be in your pink space and find that time for yourself, while he at that point is stepping out of that purple and doing his me time, so that you both can happily nourish that purple garden. Because your job is to keep that flourished with tender love and care.
And I always look at it that the other one will also look on this situation with the same thing. So if I want to go out and he or she is not in a mood, it is okay for me to do it.
It is absolutely okay.
I don't have to
What's the big deal
if
you want to get out and do something for yourself? So Heta, I know how people pleaser you are, and you're not going to give me the good authentic answer. You'll please with the answer. So we have this little bit twist on this episode for our rapid fire round. I'm going to ask you some questions. Let me know if it is a big deal or what's the big deal. If it is a big deal, I want you to take a sip. Okay? All right. So first one, not asking me how my day went by. Big deal or what's the big deal?
What's the big deal?
Okay. Cutting me off when I share a story or an incident that I had been planning to tell them for the entire day. Big deal or what's the big deal? Saying no to doing a task which someone else was supposed to do.
What's the big deal?
Okay, good. Feeling sorry about yourself when the person doesn't acknowledge your efforts. Validation. Not receiving a text back for 6 to 7 hours straight without you knowing the prior know-how about that person.
Can I say if it's an important person, it's big deal. And if it's not, it's just an acquaintance or somebody who's I'm okay with, then what's
the big deal? Good. Yeah. Asking for a favor, or as simple as asking someone to accompany your personal interest.
What's the big deal?
Okay, good. Not getting an hour of self-pampering even once a week.
What's the big deal?
Going on a solo date without your other half.
What's the big deal?
Being an achhi beti, achhi bahu, achhi biwi, that's your priority all the time. Little sip. The little sip. And I can see that evolving pleaser in you with that little sip. Good. I think that was our rapid fire round, but this was interesting. How did you feel about the questions?
Very nice. I think the evolving stage from where my subconscious mind, the conscious mind, that entire battle was being observed by me. It was really good.
Good. So we talk about evolving. Right? A lot of us are challenged by the log kya kahenge stuff, right? So log kya kahenge is the classic syndrome that we somehow subconsciously go through. And I think that is also one of the reasons why we get into this pleaser and avoider and victim and controller and vacillator and secure connector, all of that, So at WBD, what we try to do is we try to help our viewers and our guests change the mindset from log kya kahenge to kuch to log kahenge. And I see that you are already evolving, right? I want to know, let's say if we were to establish a big deal energy club where you actually, that was the year when you felt like I want to shift this mindset from log kya kahenge to kuch to log kahenge. What would be that year?
The year? I think I see it right coming up, because the next year is of course going to be a lot of things where I'm going to get a lot of advices. I'm going to get a lot of suggestions being a
So you're
first-time
preparing
parent.
for
Kuch to log kahenge
kuch to
wala.
log kahenge. So you're not there yet.
No.
Okay.
Because I don't know what journey is
That
going
is
to be
beautiful.
ahead.
I mean,
But yeah.
we always had a guest who said, like, if you were to establish a what's the big deal club established on so and so year, they always reflected on the past.
Yeah.
That 2021, 2020, 2020, 2024, 2025. But I see this side, like it's so authentic you. Like just to please me, you would have picked something in the past. But I can see that, that you're evolving and you just wanted, you just gave that most authentic answer that you could. Like, I'm not there yet, but I plan to do it next year. So great. We are waiting for that club to get established. And imagine if I was going to give you a t-shirt, gifting you in 2026. What is that one phrase that you want me to put on that t-shirt, or some words that you want me to put on the t-shirt?
You're doing great. Just be yourself.
Oh, beautiful. You're doing great. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that is how, if you raise your kid, you're not going to pour in your anxiety on them.
Absolutely.
It's like, you're doing great and just be yourself. You don't have to worry about mommy.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about daddy.
Yeah.
We're there. Fall will support you.